My name is Lilo Silver. I bet you think you know all about vampires. Believe me, you know fuck all.
It's time for you to embrace the bigger picture or die.
I told you, you knew fuck all about vampires.
So do yourself a favour, check out the Carlisle Cult Cinema Club, and don't forget not just to rate it, but also to subscribe on YouTube or Facebook.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Carlisle Cult Cinema Club presents Mark Williams and his Bootlace Cinema Volume 2. Mark's back for the third time. Oh my God, he's back for third time. There's not many of him back 3 times, but Mark is one of them. Along with Alan Bryce, who does the foreword for your book, Bootlace Cinema Volume 2. And it's an excellent read, and it's out soon. When's it out, or is it out now?
Well, it's out. It's out. I mean, it came out on the 16th of January this year.
There we go. It's out now.
So,
you can get it on Amazon.
yeah.
All about 8mm cinema, cine reels. Absolutely fantastic. 148 pages. As I say, an absolutely brilliant foreword by Alan Bryce, the man behind Darkside magazine. It'll have been easy to get involved, was he, all Brycey?
Well, yeah, because it goes back to the old VHS Forever Psychotronic People days. Because Alan was in that documentary, so we filmed him when he was working up at the Docklands. You know, I think when he was doing the Dirty Mags or something. I think there, you know, but he was, what was that, Video World or something he used to do, wasn't it?
Yeah, Video World.
But we went and filmed him, and there was like a load of naughty videos behind him and things. You know, I don't know what went on there. I didn't ask him, you know, but yeah. So we've been friends. You know, this time when was that? About 14 years ago, wasn't it? Something like that. When did that? 2014 that came out.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm old now, aren't I? Gosh, that's crazy. But yeah, so we've just been, and I didn't actually meet him because I think I was doing something. I was busy at work or something. So I sent Darren J. Perry along, who was the camera guy there and co-director, and yeah, he just sort of picked it up with Brycey there, and as you know, he doesn't stop talking, does he? You know, so we probably got about 10 hours of his interview or so, but he was really good. There's some really funny stories there. You know, you've seen it, haven't you? You know, but especially about the video nasty days and the guy leaving the video collection with him and everything. But I'm going off track anyway. But yeah. I said, Alan, write us about your days going to, because we used to go to the same Super 8mm shop. We were like the train spotters or the geeks of our days. And we used to go down to Wimbledon, which is only a short while from Croydon where I used to live, and visit this tiny little film shop. But it had everything you wanted, you know. In the window, there was like the Incredible Melting Man in there, and you know, that sort of draws you in, doesn't it, really? And you can rent films as well. That's where it all comes from. So, yeah, back on point. Yeah, he provided the great introduction. I didn't even edit. I think I put a couple of extra film titles in there and things, you know, in italics, but that was about it. But, yeah, that was Brycey Unleashed and Raw, if you like.
Oh, he can talk and he can tell a story. Alan Bryce.
He can. He doesn't stop. When you meet him in private as well, you get all the other stories that he can't obviously tell you.
Yeah,
we meet occasionally at film premieres and things like that, and book launches and things. Yeah, great guy. Yeah, full of. I'm amazed they've got all that enthusiasm after all these years. You know, which is crazy, isn't it? Really, but yeah, dedication.
Like yourself, this is your third time on. Alan's been on 5 times now.
I know you'll have to get me on another. I can't have that. We'll another 2 times now.
I'll have to do like Saturday Night Live, the Five Timers Club.
Oh,
Get your nice jacket
Bryce
and
has
things.
beat us again. That's it. But it'll always come out with some, some colourful stories and things. And who he hasn't he met? I mean, as he told you about the Chuck Norris story, that was a good one as well. Where he met Chuck Norris and his hairdresser. Ask him about that one next time. Yeah.
Do you know something? I think he has.
Yeah, he probably has.
Yeah, he's just told us that many stories over the yeah. I can't think of them all, to be honest.
No, it's part of his
to be honest,
my
memory is absolutely atrocious because of this condition. But hey, it's one of those things. Let's get back to it.
Yeah. So, if you haven't asked him, I'll ask him. Yeah, nothing untoward happened. I must say, but it's interesting when they went for a drink with Chuck Norris, as you do. You just do it. Everybody does
That's
it. Don't they?
Chuck Norris, the hardest man in the world. I noticed there was a lot of recognisable names on the thanks to list, including my own, which surprised me when I seen that. Thank you.
No, thank you, because without you guys, I've got no. I need a forum, to spread the word, and doing a little niche subject like this is just so hard to. People don't know it. They know about VHS and maybe Betamax or something, but they don't know about this Super 8. It's only the old dinosaurs like me that keep it all going, really. And Alan Bryce, of course, because he's
Bryce. He likes a Super 8, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I was surprised, to see a few modern titles in there, the T3 and Star Wars Episode 2.
Well, things are moving on. I mean, there's still Super 8 releases going on throughout the world, mainly imports. I mean, they're sort of great imports, if you like. But there's some great things happening. You can buy, like for instance, you can buy a full-length feature of Diamonds Are Forever, James Bond, 007. And his scope, stereo, I mean, cinema scope, I should say, it's just amazing. Yeah, and some great stuff. Lee Mandarin puts out, stuff like T3 and things like that. And he's got a great eye for, what people like, really. That's the thing. Yeah. And the catalogue's so vast. That's the problem. I think you've got to try and avoid. Like the collectors like some of the older films they perhaps didn't get back in the day. But it's just great that they can have that, and you can get Jurassic Park and all sorts of things. Jaws, these lovely, some great films out there still. Amazing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the list of films you kind of talk about in the book, Airplane, few of the Airports franchise, Empire Strikes Back in there, The Black Hole, load of Bruce Lee stuff, Bonnie and Clyde, you know what I mean, Hawk the Slayer. It's either Day the Jackal. There's a bit of everything there. Super Snooper, Yeti, and
we love that. You're all going to play the theme tune, are you? You're going to put the theme tune on.
Well,
I love Super Snooper.
I've dropped that theme tune on my radio show a few times, I must admit.
It's just so bizarre, isn't it?
It is.
It was a hit. It was a massive hit in Italy, apparently. They released it at some bank holiday. No, in Germany, I think. No, Germany. And it was released at some bank holiday, and the film just was like Jaws or something like that. It was just it's a box-office sensation.
Yeah, I mean, I've played it a couple of times. Same with Linda Lee's track from Zombie Flesh Eaters. I've played that a few times. Any chance to get to drop any of these, because we show's predominantly about film music, or music that's appeared in film, should I say, on TV.
And it just goes hand in hand. That's when I probably do my little sort of TikTok videos and Instagram, things like that. And then I always put like little bits of clips and, we're talking about Airport, but it had a great score, so, we're dropping that in, and it's just, they all just go, but the book's very diverse, isn't it? Not like, the previous one was more sort of horror, sci-fi, exploitation. This is, I've sort of gone back to my roots, really, when I was growing up. Mum
it's more eclectic. It's more eclectic than the first book, definitely. with a few more kind of fancy films in there. Golden Voyage of Sinbad. Any favourites? Any favourites out of the films you kind of reviewed?
In the book, I just love them all. I mean, I especially like Airplane because I think in the book I tell them about. So I used to be a projectionist. So the first time I saw Airplane was we got the print over from Hollywood. I was with the Paramount, and we got this film, and it was probably on. It was like in double reels, so you put you have to sync the sound, and I won't go into too much technical detail, but you have to sync the sound together. So with that back then, it was like two projectors you had to sync up there. But we did it, and that was the first screening for all the executives, and people just the film went down a bomb because I think they never send a film like that out like that, but they just found that film was so much potential. I think it's going to be a big hit, and it's just brilliant, isn't it? It's probably the most silliest film again, super snooper territory, but it's just brilliant. And I got to meet the Zucker brothers as well because they came in.
Oh, fantastic!
And I was like a kid in the toy shop, I'm not worthy really, that type of thing, And I had a Blues Brothers T-shirt because they sent us a load of massive big box to arrive from. It was great, in the film. A massive big box arrived, and it was all Blues Brothers because nobody had heard about it. The film hadn't come out yet. And again, that was so they were impressed by that. But it was great to meet them. I think one of them's no longer with us, is they? Unfortunately, but
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was just such a big fan, and everybody was blown away. That's why they spent a lot of money on publicity and it was a massive hit, wasn't it? Really, or Flying High, as it was called in Australia. I love all these little trivia things in there, But right. And I tried to look. Sorry,
I can remember seeing Airplane for the first time as a kid, VHS, obviously, and just that and the sequel. Just brilliant.
Mention that. That was terrible.
Yeah.
William Shatner.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, that wasn't as good. That was a bit of a rush job, I think, because they wanted the Zucker brothers back again. They weren't interested because I think they went off and did their. I think I did really well, didn't I? I had all these sort of personal projects and big budget films later on. But it wasn't going to happen. So it was a bit of a quick knockoff, I think, by Paramount. But I had William Shatner. So, it's not all that bad, is it, really?
I think I picked the wrong day to quick glue sniffing.
Yeah, yeah. I remember I was really naughty. I think I remember actually watching that on pirate VHS. I was working for Paramount, and somebody down the pub said, "Oh, do you want to watch that?" And I hadn't seen it yet, Or I might have finished then. When did that come out? About 84, 83, 84, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah.
We'll have to Google it, but so I was probably out of the industry there, but I was very naughty and watched it on a pirate knockoff.
Hey, let's be honest, we all watched a good few pirates back in the day.
But I just had to see it. I was such a big fan of the original film, and it was made. That was made for peanuts. I mean, I think in the book we tell how much it cost, but it was just peanuts, and they made so much money out of it, and just one of those films that it could have died. Other film, sometimes they didn't Kentucky Fried Movie did well. I think there was lots of other stuff, wasn't there, came out, and they didn't do so well on them, but that's certainly just an incredible film, isn't it? And the cast, I think Robert Stack, Lloyd Bridges. As you say,
it was all based around 0 Hour, wasn't it?
Yeah. But
they bought the rights. They bought the rights to the story of 0 Hour, and
you could never watch anything like that again. And like the airport films were wide out. And by the time we got to Airport Concord 1979 or Concord 80. Well and truly, the boat had sailed, the plane had flown the runway by then,
And certainly milked it, didn't they?
It did so badly that they actually tried to sell it off as an airplane, sort of. Universal were panicking. Big producer Jennings Lang, who I met, he was amazing. He had a boozy meet with Jerry Lewis, the publicity manager of CIC, Cinema International Corporation. We had these big winding staircases, so he sort of came and he nearly fell down flat on his face. You know? And Leonard Jennings Lang, what a legend. You know, I mean, High Plains Drifter, he did all the airport films. But he was a good sort of hustler, really. He could sell the films. But by then, you know, they must have had airplane films then, didn't they? You know, that the returns were getting lower, I think. And by the time they released Airport, you know, they were just out sort of in all-out comedy, really. And even had Emmanuel in there as well, didn't it? I think, you know, so it was just, you know, let's get an Alan Delon. I think he thought it was going to be his big breakthrough for American films, and it just didn't happen for him. You know, it was really sad. But the film's hilarious, isn't it? I mean, I think it's one of the yeah, and I was really disappointed because I bought the 30-minute abridgment of Airport Concord, and they've cut Sylvia Crystal out, you know, aka Emmanuel. So I was really gutted. she had a lucky escape.
Yeah, well, you've got one of the Emmanuel films in the book, isn't it? Emmanuel and the Last Cannibals.
Well, yeah, the rip-off, and again, a good old knockoff, really, I think. And
that's it.
Laura Jennings are brilliant. I mean, I thought she was great.
Yeah.
She just had that presence, didn't she? The films were trite, weren't they? And that wasn't even Joe D'Amato. But she would just appear in all these really grotty films, you know. But they're very entertaining, aren't they? You know.
Yeah, of course they are, and that's what we enjoyed, all them kind of films back in the day. So I take it the first book must have sold really well.
We did really well. We sold hundreds of copies, and you know, it was a bit of a gamble because I said to, you know, the publisher, Steve Kirkham, Tree Krog Communications, bit of plug in there. You know, let's take a gamble, let's do it. And he approached me about it because I'd done this book like 10 years previously, and you know, again, I had to sort of update it a bit more. But yeah, so let's go for it. And you know, this is a gamble because nobody's ever heard of Super 8 probably anymore. So, but it's sold. We sold
especially
now. You know, doing a sequel was a no-brainer, really. You know, it had to be done, and I still had a few reviews that didn't make book one as well there, so we had to put in. So, and you got an extra 14 pages on this one as well. So, I'm really proud of it, and putting some of these old adverts from Movie Maker and things like that in there. You know, I think really sort of. It's like the icing on the cake, really.
Yeah, well, I wrote that down. I mean, there's that many old adverts in the back, in the magazine as well. And I can remember some of those old adverts would be in the backs of like some of the camera magazines that you'd find in doctors' surgeries.
Yeah.
So you know, I'd go flick to them at the back and see what the films would be, and you know what I mean. And it was always doctors' waiting rooms where I found them camera magazines.
Yeah, well, yes, yeah. I mean, it was funny because even Photoplay, which is a very big, it ceased publication years ago, but it's a very big general film magazine. You know, really good a lot about bios about the stars and things. But it was so popular. They actually had a small Super 8 column. There was a guy called Mike Munn who used to do them, and he was I think he was from South London or somewhere. But yeah, it was just. It's incredible. I think when Star Wars came out, again, we probably discussed it, you know, it just hit a whole new level because people go out and just buy a projector to show Star Wars. That was before it even came out in the cinema. So,
well,
you know.
My mate had the Super 8 of Star Wars, and he would often set it up and we'd all sit. This was in the 90s. We'd sit and watch the Super 8 Star Wars, the abridged version. Just great stuff.
Yeah, and it's such an iconic film, isn't it? And I think everybody knew that it was just going to be a mega hit because, I mean, 20th Century Fox, the distributor, thought Damnation Alley was going to be the big hit of that year. So they put all the advertising. Of course, it just bombed, you know. And it was a rush job, I think, because they hadn't finished a lot of the effects on there. But George Lucas did it. Very small budget and lots of imagination, really, didn't he? Reused a lot of props, didn't he? You know, because somebody said, well, you know, you got that Dune scene, or they're out in the desert with C-3PO and R2-D2, but they come across this dinosaur skeleton, and it's actually a prop from a Disney film called One of Our Dinosaurs is Missing.
So is missing.
Yeah, I know. Well, you probably know that again, you know, but I bet they were gutted. I mean, you know, and it was just lying around at Elstree where they filmed it, you know, or Pinewood or something like that, you know. But there were still loads of props when I went to Pinewood or Elstree back in '76. There were still loads of stuff knocking around. You know, you couldn't believe it. You know?
Brilliant.
Yeah, you know, it's just one of those films, isn't it? Yeah.
There's a fantastic piece on the Lemon Popsicle films as well.
Yeah, we had to put it in, and my friend Andy Allard, you probably know Andy, do you? Met him. You probably met him at the con, didn't you? I think
I did. I met Andy at Weird Worcester last year.
Yeah. He's a lovely guy, a school teacher, and he said, "Mark, he said, do you want to do this? Can I do a review of that?" Well, I said, "Look, don't do a review, just do the whole." You know, like a potted history of these popsicle films, because everybody loved them. And the connection is only one of them got released on Super 8 in Germany, of all places. So, I thought, because a reviewer said to me, "Oh, no, why are you putting that article?" I said, "Well, no, look, it complements the review of the the German Super 8 version, you know." But everybody loved the popsicle films, didn't they? Because they were so popular.
They were massive back in the day.
Played for a couple of weeks, didn't they? You know, and they were just scared to get a young audience in, weren't they? Really, you know, sex and rock and roll, if you like, really, aren't they? You know, but set in Israel, you know,
set in Israel, made out to be America.
Again, will it? Yeah. So they made it up. Tel Aviv was made up to look like, and they pulled it off, didn't they? I think. You know, it was just really cool, and you know the actors are great, and they all went on to appear in loads of kind of movies, didn't they? I think, you know, was it Zaki Noy? Was it one of the guys, wasn't it? And
they did. They appeared in all sorts. I can remember my dad showing us it back in VHS.
Films,
and just great, silly fun, and you know, obviously over time as well, which is. You know, people forget about these films. They were made of a time, but they're still fun to watch because it takes you back to that time.
Yeah, and the director, Boaz Davison, I think he even went on and he became a big Hollywood producer as well, didn't he? Still about.
He did.
He's still producing.
Yeah.
And I was damned if he didn't go and remake the bloody film as the Last American Virgin.
Last American Virgin, yeah.
What a rip-off. But you had all the elements, kind of knew they'd have a hit. Like, you know, they've got lots of nudity in there. Probably of their time, really, aren't they? Again, you know, probably not the most politically correct films to watch, but definitely worth a watch.
For our generation, we still watch them and find them fun and entertaining, and it takes us back to that time period, which is great fun. The other thing I liked about the book as well is the artwork.
Oh, gosh,
all the artwork on the.
This is the whole inspiration for the book, because I thought it's got this beautiful artwork nobody ever sees anymore. You know, you're not going to see it anywhere. So that was. I mean, I nearly did a book, big glossy coffee table book just with colours, but I thought no, let's put a little bit of. I just, get films I've done stuff with or I've been involved with and things. So not all of them, obviously, only a few. But and of course those lovely Bruce Lee films, because dear old Ricky Baker, he helped me out in the first book. Actually, I think he gave me some information. He's the authority, isn't he? You've had Ricky on.
Yeah, I've had Ricky on as well. Ricky's been on the show. Yeah, and he's good crack. Really got a lot of time.
He can like Brycey, he can talk. I mean, I filmed him once for the VHS Forever sequel, and we did like an hour straight, and he didn't even pause. He just had that natural. He's been involved so long, isn't he? Really, And again, back to the Bruce Lees, it goes back, back to Croydon in the old days of the late night films. We used to have the unrated prints at the Odeon, local Odeon. So 12 midnight on a Friday night, so everybody would go down and they could see an uncut Fist of Fury or or a Big Boss and things like that. It's amazing how they got away with it, because I think you paid 10p for a membership or something like that. So little bit of a loophole, but that was the only way you could see them uncut. These great films, and the censor hated them, didn't they? And because they were popular, and it was like the end. We have to cut all the nunchucks out because it's like the end of civilization or something, isn't it? Which is absolute nonsense. And again,
kids,
this is another inspiration of collecting German releases because the German censors just passed these as just a general rating, universal rated, and they were uncut. So you got all the violence in, all the nunchucks. And they weren't particularly violent, but it's just they didn't like any weaponry, did they?
No, especially nunchucks, because they even changed the Turtles films. Because they're, you know what I mean, just daft, absolutely daft. And Enter the Dragon was changed, the nunchuck sequence, and all that kind of malarkey. Just stupidity.
I met Steve Barron a couple of weeks ago, the director of the Turtles, and he was telling me all about the nightmare they had, cutting the video, and it was an absolute nightmare. Even though you could go down the pub and get a pirated copy, couldn't you, if you wanted to, which was... But, I mean, it was great to see that film again. I don't know if you've seen it recently. They've got a box set out, but it's great to see it on the big screen. It's a really nicely done film,
Oh, my cousin, he created the animatronics, the turtle suits and that.
Yeah.
So,
and he's got stop motion. There's some stop motion in there. Get him on. He's a lovely chap as well. Really nice chap.
I absolutely love them films, and I've got a lot of time for them. Because they're just, absolutely superb. Because my cousin was working with Jim Henson's Creature Shop, who done all the turtle suits and animatronics, so he was down on set. But the 124 reviews in the book. And it does. It's very, very eclectic. It covers everything from that kind of period. And I really hope it does spawn for you.
Yeah, it's just doing all right. It probably hasn't sold as many copies initially as the horror sci-fi, because I think that was more sort of a narrower market, if you like. But obviously we've done something more eclectic here, or diverse, and
a broader appeal.
Yeah, but we just had to push it away, and I'm driving everybody mad with my TikTok videos and Instagram and and all you can do is push away.
Of course you can.
But it'll do all right. I think we'll be okay. But it's a slower seller, I've got to admit. It's a slower seller than the first one, and it should be the other way around, really, shouldn't it? But that's the way it goes,
I'm sure it'll get there once The thing is, it got released just after Christmas. Everyone's a little bit skint.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I think, and unfortunately, we had to put the costs had to go up, so it's a little bit dear, a couple of pounds, not too drastic,
No.
But the good thing I've done sort of very little promotion on it so far, so I'm obviously working on that. We've got a couple of conventions coming up, Super 8 orientated, so we'll be going out.
Oh, well, you'll sell it. You'll sell a good few with that.
And we usually sell, a few copies there, and then we've got Blackpool coming up as well. So I can give you the dates as well later on. But yes, so we always do right. I always like to. It was really good. A couple of years ago, I took the book up to Blackpool. I must have come out in July. Then I took the book up took loads of copies up. And I did a little talk. We did a Q&A with Adrian Winchester, and about 20 minutes. And then everybody came up and I signed, and I was really proud of it. I thought, what do you want my signature? You don't want to ruin that book on there, But it was really good, and I sold a lot. But the problem is now I've got two books, so I'm going to have 2 suitcases, and then lag them about. It's not good. They weigh a ton. Especially the hardbacks. It's good. It's good, and it's funny, Pete. I'm really pleased as well because we do a digital edition as well, but or an ebook, and we only sold a couple. So it's good that people like the physical. You still like that physical book here? Sorry, I can't get my hands off it, and which is good. And the hardback, people like the hardback as well. So it's I'm really proud. Really proud.
I'm sure it'll get there because, as I say, it's. The films it's got in there: Journey to the Centre of the Earth, Jack the Ripper, Island of Dr. Moreau, Game of Death's in there.
There's so many good. so much good stuff in there. You know, that's the thing, isn't it? We had to put some Jess Franco in. So I said to the my friend in Germany, who's a massive collector, and he supplies all the covers. And I said, "Can you get this Jack the Ripper? Because we've got to put that in there." And they're quite controversial, these ones as well, isn't it? Really, because you know the film got banned, didn't it, as well, when they tried to get out in 1976, and they said no way, the censor, you know. So I think it just got shelved. I think there was too many cuts or something. It's got obviously subsequently come out on videotape, you know, and DVD and Blu-ray, etc. But it's, you know, they put a lovely, and I've got to tell you that the German version, you probably might read, the German Super 8 version has got a couple of seconds in which didn't have in the theatrical release in Germany. So it's a lot more gore. The producer put it in. I think it was the notorious, was it Erwin C. Dietrich, wasn't it? I think the porno producer or the soft porn producer did it, didn't he? So, but yeah, I mean, if you love Klaus Kinski, then that's a film for you, isn't it? Really, it's a pretty, I don't know, it's a hard watch, I think, isn't it? Really, but it's got its moments, definitely, isn't it? I think.
I mean, I mean, Christine F's in there.
Yeah, I had to put that in there. Yeah.
Capricorn one. It's covering, you know, quite a lot of great titles. Conga.
Yeah.
Shame you've not got Trog in there, because that would have been right up
Eric McNaughton's. Yeah, there's a whole book on Trog, isn't there? Really? You
yes, there is.
It was really bad because they only released Trog as, I think it was a company called Ken Films. Only released Trog as a 8-minute. A black and white silent edition, but it had a brilliant cover. The cover is brilliant. So yeah, I'm gonna have to put it in book 3 and that, I think, you know, on there. And it's just one of those films, isn't it? Really, I think, you know. But
yeah.
But if it'd been colour sound, yeah, I think I'd have been, or a longer version. I think I'd have been tempted to put it in.
But there. No, it's again, just like the first one. It's got everything you need to know about 8mm Super 8s. And Mark, as always, you've done a fantastic job, mate. Anything coming out next?
Well, you know, we're working on book 3 at the moment, so I've started, and I'm probably doing it a little bit narrower, I think, with this one. And we're going to go with more sort of American releases, because a couple of American critics saying, "Oh, the book's too European," you know, we're not putting enough.
Yeah.
And there's so many, you know, there's this company called Ken Films, and I'll show you one here. They put these beautiful sort of, wrong way round, that's no good, is it?
There
they
we
put
go.
out these beautiful horror movie things, you know, like that. But yeah, and they put out hundreds of films. They've got a catalogue here as well, which is, so I could just use this as a guide, really.
Yeah.
You can have a look here, but yeah, great. But yeah, I'll put it up later on. But yeah, there's a big catalogue of stuff that I've not done, and you know, and I want to go back to some of the old, probably some of the older releases. You know, especially I've got stuff like the Godfather of Hong Kong. I've just done a review of and things, and I love those films. You know, they're great. You know, so it's nice to some of the more old school stuff on there. You know, and we're doing a couple of articles about how collectors used to buy a couple of versions of films, and then combine them to make a longer version.
Yeah.
There's a guy called Tony Lewis in Australia who's writing that. So that'll be interesting to put that in there, because he's in Australia and he's a massive collector, and he's buying all these German releases, doubling them back into, because they're all in German, of course, so he's doubling them all back into English, and yeah. He's really dedicated, but it's handy. You know, if anybody else wants to do it and they get hold of the film, they've got the films, then it's a good way of sort of a good guide, really, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Sounds like the plan. And it's available on Amazon.
Yeah, so you can get it with Amazon. You can get it if you're in London. You get it from Bruce Campbell, who's a you know, obviously a long-standing dealer. He does the London film fairs, so you can go there. You can get it from me when I'm doing the. Do you want me to give you the dates of these?
Give us the dates of the cons you're
I'm
going to be
doing.
at.
Yeah, so the first thing I've got coming up is the British Film Collector Convention, which is the 50th one this year. So I've been involved with John Clancy and another couple of the organisers for years doing this. So yeah, I've got that coming up on the 30th of May, 2026, and that's at the Barn in Oxted. So you want me to give you the web address as well? I can give you the if you want a ticket. It's only, I think it's like £12 for all day, and we're actually showing Last Action here on 35mm in the evening as well.
Oh, nice!
And this film's been licensed as well, so it's not just a showing it. You know, it's been properly licensed by the distributor. But if you want a ticket, I think they're only about £12 for the whole day. It's www.ticketsource.co.uk. And also got Blackpool Film Convention coming up on November the 13th to the 15th. That's a whole weekend of it, and I'll be down taking books there as well. So by then my back will be going, I think. Yeah.
After humping loads of cases full of books around.
Yeah, but it's like a leap of faith as well. I mean, also we've got had some really good reviews in. So Cinema Retro, a guy called Tim Reeves, who wrote the brilliant Vampire. Do you ever get those little vampire fanzines? Do you ever get those back in the day? Back in the 90s, I think.
I don't think I did.
Oh, they're brilliant. They're really good. And he's like the authority on vampires. Oh gosh, I've forgotten the right date now. Was it 1977 or something like that? 76, 77 it came out.
Right.
But yeah, great film, ahead of its time. But yeah, we've got good reviews from him, and Starburst can review it, and got a couple of other things. So it's nice. It sort of spurs it on, really, doesn't it? Because it's a leap of faith. You put this out, and
yes,
nobody might want it. Nobody might like it, because it's a lot of my, personal stuff is in here, so, and it's a lot of my favourites. So yeah, and we try to be diverse, I mean, Xanadu and Lipstick in one book. I think that's.
Well, yeah. Prisoner of the Cannibal Gods in there as well.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Orc of the Killer Whale. There's some absolute great titles getting there.
Yeah.
The once-over in the book, and it really is worth getting out there and having a read of.
Yeah.
As I
had a...
No, it's an absolute pleasure. But I think we've kind of covered everything on that. Is anything else you've got coming up, Mark, apart from...
we've got, hopefully, it's been sort of talk with VHS for a sequel, so we'll try and get that working on that, I think. It all depends who we can get to interview and things. But I'm just a filmmaker. I've not made a film since They're Hostile, which was, a few years ago, wasn't it? Was it? Yeah, it could have been 3 years ago, something like that. And it did really well. We got sort of 5 sold-out shows in Croydon, but unfortunately, it was, I think, out of Croydon, it didn't really have any sort of legs. Nobody was really, that interested. But I'm proud of it, again. Yeah, I like it. So we're going to do that. Maybe doing a film with Spiz Energy, a little bit about him and his sort of career, and things. That's been ongoing for about 10 years, I think, on there. So, yeah, I want to get back. So the plan is, to get back and do that. And we're hoping to get, it's sort of top secret at the moment. We're hoping to do a screening of the original VHS Trevor Sugg Join the People with the Nickel Cinema. Have you heard of them? Which is a real sort of hip cinema club in London.
Oh,
really.
yes, I have. I've seen Alan Bryce mention it.
Yeah, Alan's been there. He's hipper than me. He's been there already, and and they've got a pop-up store and they're doing really well. So, yeah, it'd be nice to get the psychedelic gang together. Tony Clark, people like that, Val Cross. Be great, to do something like that and show it. Perhaps with a Russ Meyer film or something, or it's got to be Fast and Pussycat Kill, isn't it? Really, I think,
Well, yeah,
that's all up in the air at the moment, but yeah, it's good. And then and just carry on the rest of the year, sort of promoting the book, really. So it's just sell all the time. People are fed up with me, probably. I keep send out these little videos. And things.
You've got to plug your stuff. You've got to plug your stuff.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's like TikTok. About a year ago, it didn't really resonate with me. I put a couple of things on that, but now there's so many sort of horror groups and fans of a lot of 70s movies, things like that. So it's just a big Well, it's a new market, really, isn't it? So I can sort of go out there and perhaps show them a bit of zombie flesh eaters or something. That was never on. I think that was never on Super 8, apart from a Italian bootleg copy. I think they released the whole thing.
Right. That's
Because they were very
surprising.
naughty back in there. Yeah, they had a big market, big sort of grey market. These films, Tenebrae was out, Zombies, Dawn of the Dead was out, everything was out. And I think they had such, local clubs showed them everywhere.
Yeah.
Massive libraries out there. So it was a great Suspiria. So yeah, they're all out there. I mean, so I was sort of thinking the next book, maybe a bit like Tarantino's Cinema Speculation, where we talk about some films. Yeah, they had probably sort of a grey market release or something, and
yeah,
I want to do something on The Passage as well, because I've got the poster here.
I can see it behind you there.
I've got that made it to Super 8 as a 10-minute promo, which is probably the best the film has ever been. Really, 10 minutes is enough, I think. Over the it's so sort of it's a horrible film, isn't it? Really is a horrible film, isn't it?
I don't think I've seen The Passage, if I'm honest.
Oh, you need to. Well, you can go if you go on Prime, and you can see it. They put it up there, I think, past couple of weeks.
Oh, right, I'll have a look for it.
But if you like Malcolm McDowell in his, Clockwork Orange and in his Caligula role, and that, totally. I think the script was so poor, he just hands it up, and But it's a great cast: James Mason, Patricia Neal, people like that in there. But it's just
I'll have to check it out.
A camp masterpiece, I think they call it, wouldn't they? Really, But yeah, I'll probably go into that. I may do sort of, a little bit on that, but that has been on Super 8, a few trailers out. So, yeah, I'm sure people will want to read about that, won't they, I think?
Oh, definitely. But anyways, right, we'll say goodbye, because I think we've covered the book nicely.
Already. Yeah, well, thank you, Paul. Well, it's always a pleasure to... have me on the show, and please invite me back anytime.
No, we definitely will do. Whenever the next book is coming out, we'll get on it, and go and see him at the Blackpool film convention. Mark will be there with his books, selling them. And it's a great little con. And what was the other con you were saying you're at again?
Yeah, and we're doing the British Film Collectors Convention, which is the 50th anniversary one. That'll be at the Barn in Oxford. It's about Oxted, which is about 20 minutes from Croydon, I think, on the train.
Yeah.
So, please come along, because I think that's going to be a big event. We're showing a lot of 35, a lot of 16, a lot of 8mm. It's not just 8mm. And then Last Action Hero, which we've licensed for a showing in the evening. So...
and a good day,
and for £12, it's the price of a London pint, isn't it?
I could imagine a pint being there and £12 in London actually at the moment.
Pint of Stella or something, isn't it? I think, but no, it's great. I mean, without all these events going on, everything going on, and the fans and the collectors, there'd be no book, because there'd be no market for it.
That's it.
Everybody's very, very supportive.
Oh, well, that's all right. And it's a lovely looking book. Grab it on Amazon, and obviously pick it up at the cons from Mark. Thank you, Mark, for being here, mate.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. A pleasure as always, sir.
And always a pleasure to have you on. I'll speak to you soon. Just stick around once we do this. We sign out. Thanks for being here, Mark. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Paul. Cheers.
Goodbye.
Bye.